You didn't find this video, it found you. Not by accident. Not by algorithm. Something in you recognized this moment before your mind caught up. Because you've been carrying a kind of heaviness nobody else can see. And this message is for that version of you. You've been carrying something lately, and I know exactly what kind of heavy it is, because it's the kind nobody else can see. Stay with me, because this message has something specific to say to you. The weight nobody sees. It doesn't live on your face. It doesn't earn you sympathy or explanation. It lives right behind your sternum, quiet, constant, and you've gotten so used to it that you almost stop noticing it's there. Almost. You notice it in the mornings, in that first unguarded moment before the day's performance begins. You notice it in the small pauses between one thing and the next, when the distractions run out and it's just you and the truth of where you actually are. You notice it when someone asks how you're doing and you say fine, and mean something so much more complicated than fine that the word almost feels like a lie. Here's the real truth, the one you haven't said out loud to anyone lately. You are tired, not weak, not broken, not falling apart. Tired. And there is a profound difference between those things. Because the part of you that is exhausted right now is not the part that is failing. It is the part that has been carrying more than its share, for longer than it should have had to. And I need you to hear something clearly. Because the story you've been telling yourself about what this tiredness means is not the whole story. Not even close. The work nobody claps for. You've been doing the work. Not perfectly. Not without stumbling. Not without the occasional night where you let yourself feel things you thought you were done feeling. But you have been doing it. The moment you didn't send the message you wanted to send. The morning you got up anyway when staying in bed would have been so much easier. The night you sat with something painful instead of reaching for your phone. Instead of filling the silence with anything that would make it stop. The choice you made, over and over again, to keep going, even when keeping going felt like walking through something thick and invisible and completely unrecognized by everyone around you. That is not nothing. That is not small. That is everything. And the tiredness you're feeling right now isn't proof that it isn't working. It's proof of how long you've been doing it, without rest, without reward, without anyone handing you anything for it. Not yet. What it means when a message finds you. Jung spent the better part of his life trying to articulate something that the rational mind resists with everything it has. He understood that the psyche, the deep, living intelligence of your inner world, is not passive. It is not a storage unit for old memories and wounds and conversations you replay at 2 a.m. It is an active force, one that moves toward wholeness with a relentless, quiet precision that doesn't ask for your permission and doesn't wait until you feel ready. And when you are truly ready, the kind of ready that only comes after real struggle, after real loss, after something in you has been broken open and you chose to grow through the crack instead of close around it, the psyche begins to orchestrate. It arranges the conditions for your next chapter with a specificity that your logical mind will always want to call coincidence. Because coincidence is more comfortable than the alternative. The alternative is that you are being guided. The alternative is that the life trying to reach you is reaching back. The version you've been holding. Let me ask you something, and I want you to sit with it before you answer, even just to yourself. What have you been trying to figure out alone? Because I want to name something carefully. There is a version of your life you've been holding in your mind for a long time. Not obsessing over, not desperately clinging to, just holding. The way you hold something precious and fragile. A version where something unresolved finally resolves. Where something suspended in the space between you and another person, or between you and a future you can almost see, finally lands somewhere solid. You haven't given up on that version, but in your most honest moments, when the armor's down and the performance has stopped, you've started to wonder quietly whether still wanting it makes you foolish. Whether the hope you've been tending privately, against the odds, against the part of you that just wants to be safe, whether that hope is wisdom, or whether it's the last form fear takes before it has to finally let go. Don't cast you on that exact question is part of why this message found you today. Because the answer is neither wisdom nor foolishness. What you're carrying is discernment in process. You are in the middle of learning the difference between hope that serves you and attachment that costs you. And that is one of the most important lessons a soul ever learns. And it almost never arrives clean. The doorway Jung called it the transcendent function, the psychological process by which two opposing forces inside a person, what you want and what you fear, who you were and who you're becoming, the past you're still holding and the future trying to reach you, begin to resolve into something genuinely new. Not a compromise between the two, not one side winning. A third thing, something that could not have existed without the tension of both holding at the same time. And the transcendent function does not operate on your schedule. It happens when enough of the old structure is dissolved to make room for what's coming. And the dissolving is the part that feels like stagnation. The dissolving is the doorway. You are not stuck. You are standing in a doorway, unable to go back into the room you came from, and not yet through to the one ahead. The room behind you is familiar, even though it hurt you. The room ahead is unknown, even though it holds everything you've been building toward. And the doorway is exhausting, and nobody is handing you anything for staying in it. But you are staying in it, every single day, and that matters more than you know. The person you've been thinking about. I want to talk about the other person, the one whose name lives in a specific part of your chest that you don't always have access to. But that opens sometimes without warning, when a song comes on, when a particular quality of light hits a room a certain way, when someone uses a word that once belonged only to the two of you. I want to talk about them because they are part of this message. Not the center of it. You are the center of it, but they're in it. Here's what I need you to understand about them, and it might be difficult to receive if you're still in the part of this where the silence has an edge. They are in their own process, one they didn't choose, can't fully see from the inside, and aren't equipped right now to name underneath whatever surface version of their life they're presenting to the world. Something is confronting them. The gap between who they've been performing and who the most honest version of themselves actually requires them to be. That gap doesn't close through distraction. It doesn't close through forward momentum or simply deciding to feel differently. It closes through reckoning, and the reckoning has a face, and the face looks like yours. Not because you are their salvation, not because your healing is tied to their awakening, but because what you brought into their life, the specific quality of presence, depth, and genuine attention you offered, did not disappear when the connection did. It went underground, and underground things grow toward the light, whether the surface permits it or not. The clearest thing I need to say, I am not telling you to wait for them. I want to be absolutely clear, because I know how easy it is to hear something like this and quietly turn it into permission to put your own life on hold. That is not what this is. What I'm telling you is something more important than any instruction about waiting or reaching out or staying silent. I'm telling you this. The version of you that is rooted in her own becoming. The version you're building right now, quietly, in the exhausting in-between. That version is not in competition with love. She is the condition for it. The real kind. The kind that doesn't ask you to make yourself smaller to fit inside it. The kind that doesn't require you to hold your breath or translate yourself into something more digestible. The kind that can only find you when you are standing fully in who you are. Without apology, without performance, without the low hum of anxiety that comes from needing someone else to confirm that you are worth staying for. And you are closer to that version of yourself than you have ever been. Especially because it doesn't feel that way right now. To the part of you that's scared. I want to speak now to the part of you that is scared, not the strong part. That part is doing fine. It has carried you this far, and it will carry you further. The scared part, the part that wonders at 2 or 3 in the morning, in the specific dark that only exists between those hours. Whether you have already waited too long, hoped too much, given too much of yourself to something that didn't know how to receive it. The part that sometimes thinks the real mistake wasn't this person, or that choice, or that moment, but something more fundamental. Something about you, about the depth of what you feel, about the fact that you love with everything, and that has never seemed to protect you from anything. I want to speak directly to that part. Slowly, clearly. You have not made a mistake by feeling what you felt. You have not made a mistake by wanting what you wanted. The depth of your feeling is not the problem. It has never been the problem. The only thing that would be a mistake right now, the only one, is deciding that what you are capable of is a liability rather than the most extraordinary thing about you. Because it is not a liability. It is not a flaw. It is the specific quality of your soul that makes the right love when it arrives. Not just possible, inevitable. The threshold. You are at a threshold, not the end of something, even though it has felt like endings for a long time now. The kind that only appears after enough of the old has been released to make space for the new. The kind the soul, in its deep and unhurried wisdom, only opens for people who have done the work to deserve walking through it. And the walking through doesn't arrive loudly. It doesn't come with fanfare or a sudden, unmistakable sign that everything has changed. It arrives in a morning that feels slightly different from the one before it. A moment of clarity that settles somewhere you didn't know was waiting to be settled. A choice that feels smaller than it is. A breath that releases something you've been holding for a very long time. And then another moment, another choice. And slowly, without your full permission, without your complete understanding, the life that has been assembling itself quietly while you were doing the work, while you were standing in the doorway, while you were refusing to give up on the version of yourself that knows what she deserves, that life begins to become visible. One day you'll look back at the doorway you were standing in, the one that felt like being trapped, the one that felt like nothing was happening, the one that costs you more than anyone around you ever knew, and you'll realize you're not in it anymore. You're on the other side. And everything that felt like waiting was actually arriving. You are closer than you think. You have been doing the work in the dark, and it has been registered somewhere that matters. The next chapter already knows your name. Stay with it. Stay with yourself.